What if I told you the most financially disciplined athlete of his generation spent 11 years convincing the entire world he was reckless with money? What if the guy doing backflips off boats in Cancun, crashing through tables at Super Bowl parties, and loudly announcing he had no idea how taxes worked? What if that guy never once touched his NFL salary? Not a dollar, not a single check. What if the party was the strategy? Rob Gronkowski earned approximately $90 million in NFL salary over 11 seasons. And according to Gronkowski himself, he never spent a single dollar of it. Every direct deposit, every signing bonus, every postseason check, untouched. He lived entirely off his endorsement income for the duration of his playing career. And while the rest of the sports world was arguing about whether he was the greatest tight end of all time, he was quietly executing one of the most disciplined financial strategies in the history of professional athletics. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the man behind the party boy image. We are talking about how Rob Gronkowski turned $90 million in playing salary into a locked vault, how he built a brand empire on top of it, and why his approach to money might be the most underrated financial blueprint any athlete has ever deployed. This is not the Gronk story you think you know. This is the one they never tell on ESPN. Let's start with the moment that changed everything. Before Gronkowski ever played his first NFL snap, his father, Robert Gronkowski Sr., sat him down and gave him one rule: do not spend your football money. Full stop. His father came from a business background, built several companies across the fitness and sports equipment space, and had watched enough stories of athletes destroying generational wealth to know the pattern by heart. So he drilled one principle into his son before the fame arrived, before the contracts arrived, before the temptation arrived. Live on your brand income. Protect your salary. Always. Now here is why that advice was revolutionary, and not just good parenting. The average NFL career lasts less than 3.5 years. 3.5 years. And the pressure to perform, to live a certain lifestyle during those years, is relentless. The rookie who shows up to practice in a Honda Civic gets clowned. The veteran who declines the Vegas trip gets quietly excluded. The culture of professional sports across every league operates on a visible spending arms race that functions almost like a hazing ritual. You earn, therefore you display. And the men who refuse to play that game face enormous social pressure from every direction. Gronkowski played the game, just not the one they expected. He showed up to parties. He got loud. He did the shirtless photos and the foam fingers and the spring break appearances. He built one of the most recognizable personalities in the history of the NFL. And the entire time, his base salary was sitting in a place where lifestyle inflation could not reach it. Let's talk about the actual numbers, because this is where things get genuinely staggering. Gronkowski's NFL contracts across his career with the New England Patriots and later the Tampa Bay Buccaneers generated roughly $90 million in total guaranteed and earned salary. His endorsement portfolio over that same period, running alongside those contracts, included brands like Dunkin' Donuts, Nike, Tide, T-Mobile, Cheerios, Visa, and a rotating roster of consumer brands that paid heavily for access to the Gronk image. Conservative industry estimates place his endorsement earnings during his playing career in the range of $15 to $20 million across that period. That is the money he was living on. That is the money funding the party. The football money was untouched. Think about what that means mathematically. If Gronkowski was clearing, after taxes and agent fees, somewhere in the range of $40 to $50 million net from his NFL earnings, and that money sat invested in low-cost index funds or diversified market positions for the duration of a career that stretched over 11 years, the compound growth on that capital alone becomes significant. Money sitting still while markets rise is still working, and Gronkowski's money never stopped working. Now, if you want to be inside a community that breaks down the real financial moves, the business infrastructure, the ownership strategies, and the generational blueprints behind the biggest wealth stories in sports and business, go ahead and join our channel membership right now. Hit that join button below this video. Your support keeps this channel alive and keeps these stories coming. Here is something most people skip right over when they talk about Gronkowski and money. He grew up wealthy. His father built real businesses. Robert Gronkowski Sr. co-founded Gronk Fitness Products with his sons, a company that manufactures gym and fitness equipment distributed through major retail channels. There are 5 Gronkowski brothers, and their father built an operation designed to keep all of them connected to business ownership early. Rob had a blueprint before the NFL ever handed him a contract. He wasn't arriving at financial discipline from scratch. He was inheriting a philosophy and then scaling it to an entirely different income level. That context matters because it separates the Gronkowski story from the cautionary tale template we usually hear about athletes and money. This wasn't a guy who learned the hard way. He was engineered through family culture to understand that earned income is not net worth, that a big salary is a raw material, not a destination, that the check is just the beginning of the work, not the reward for it. His father also understood diversification at a family level. The Gronkowski brothers were not a single athlete with a single income stream hanging on one body staying healthy. They were a portfolio, multiple professional athletes, multiple endorsement relationships, a family business generating product revenue, and a father orchestrating the whole structure with an eye on longevity. When Rob got hurt in New England, the family financial architecture did not collapse, because Rob was never the only load-bearing wall. And this is the piece that rarely gets discussed when people celebrate Gronkowski's financial story. Injury is the silent killer of athlete wealth. Not bad investments, not lifestyle spending. Injury. The moment a body stops producing, the contract clock can stop with it. Gronkowski dealt with forearm fractures, back surgeries, knee issues, and concussion concerns that would have ended most careers years earlier. He had 7 surgeries across his NFL tenure. 7. Each one was a moment where the income could have evaporated and the lifestyle, if he had built one against his salary, would have become a financial emergency overnight. Because he never attached his cost of living to his playing checks, the injuries never threatened his financial foundation. The surgery happened. The recovery happened. The money kept sitting exactly where he left it. That insulation is not luck. That is architecture. Let's also talk about the tax reality that most fans never factor into these conversations. A top NFL salary in a state like Massachusetts, where the Patriots play, is subject to federal income tax at the highest bracket, state income tax, agent fees typically running 3 to 4%, and a range of other deductions that shrink a raw contract number dramatically before it ever reaches the player's actual account. A $90 million career salary does not produce $90 million in the bank. The real net figure, after every deduction across 11 seasons, lands somewhere considerably lower. Gronkowski understood this. He was not protecting $90 million from lifestyle. He was protecting whatever survived taxation, and he treated that surviving capital as permanently off limits for consumption. That discipline at the post-tax level, not the pre-tax number on a headline, is what separates his approach from players who see the big number and spend accordingly, only to discover too late that the big number was never really theirs to spend. After his first retirement in 2019, Gronkowski's financial moves became more visible. He launched Gronk Beach, his own ticketed music and party event brand that he brought to Super Bowl week each year. He was not attending the party. He was selling the party. He was not paying for the experience. He was charging for it. That is a fundamental shift in relationship to any cultural moment. The person in the crowd is a consumer. The person who built the stage is an owner. Gronkowski built the stage. Gronk Beach became a recurring revenue machine tied to one of the most commercially saturated weeks on the American sports calendar. Super Bowl week generates more discretionary spending than almost any other annual event in the country. Hotels at 4 times the normal rate. Restaurant reservations are impossible to get. Event tickets with margins that would make Wall Street comfortable. Gronkowski positioned himself at the center of that economic energy and extracted value as an operator, not as a fan. He also leaned into the CBD and wellness category with his investment and partnership with CBD Medic, a company focused on pain relief products that positioned Gronkowski as a credible spokesperson given his documented history with injuries. His body took punishment that most people cannot comprehend across an NFL career defined by violence and productivity. He had multiple serious injuries, multiple surgeries, and multiple moments where retirement looked like the only rational next step. He converted that physical history into brand credibility in the wellness space. His pain was the resume, and he monetized it. The media side of the Gronkowski brand continued expanding post-retirement. He joined Fox Sports as an NFL analyst, adding a broadcasting salary on top of an already diversified income structure. His presence in broadcasting keeps his name circulating in sports culture, which keeps his endorsement value elevated, which keeps the brand partnerships generating revenue. This is the compounding cycle that smart athletes build when they transition out of playing. Each layer of media presence feeds the next layer of commercial value. His comeback with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay in 2020 added another contract to the salary stack. Gronkowski came out of retirement, played 2 seasons with the Buccaneers, and added tens of millions of dollars more to his salary that, by his own stated philosophy, he was still not touching for personal expenses. He won a Super Bowl ring in the process. He added to the brand equity, and then he walked away again on his own terms. Not because his body forced the decision, and not because the money dried up, but because he decided it was time. That ability to leave cleanly is its own form of financial discipline. Athletes who stay too long do so because they need the money. They have burned through the endorsements. The lifestyle absorbed the salary. The entourage is real and expensive. The houses are real and expensive. And suddenly, the contract is not a luxury. It is a lifeline. Gronkowski never needed the lifeline. Every comeback was a choice. Every departure was the same. His current net worth is estimated in the range of $50 to $60 million by most financial publications, though those figures almost certainly undercount equity positions and private holdings that do not surface in public reporting. What we can say with confidence is that a man who earned $90 million in salary and reportedly never spent it, while simultaneously generating $15 to $20 million in endorsements he actually lived on, while building event businesses and media deals and wellness brand partnerships on top of that, is sitting on a foundation that will compound for decades past the point where the sports world stops saying his name. Here is the lesson that the Gronkowski story actually teaches. Discipline does not require deprivation. He was not sitting in a 1-bedroom apartment eating rice and beans while his teammates flew private. He was throwing the parties. He was doing the commercials. He was buying the boats and making the highlight reels. He was fully present in the culture. He just structured his finances so that the culture was paying him to show up, not the other way around. He monetized the personality. He protected the principle. That is the move. Most athletes fall into a trap that looks like success. The lifestyle expands to meet the income. Then the income slows down. And suddenly the lifestyle is a liability instead of an asset. Gronkowski built the lifestyle as a product and kept the income separate. The party had a budget. The salary did not. There is a quote attributed to Rob Gronkowski in various interviews, where he describes his father's advice in simple terms. Work for your money once, then make your money work for you. It reads like a motivational poster, but behind it is a decade of actual execution. $90 million sitting in investment vehicles for 11 years does not just sit, it grows. Conservative market returns over that timeline, assuming broad index exposure, would have added tens of millions in appreciation on top of the principal. The math rewards patience in a way that no highlight reel ever could. Rob Gronkowski convinced the world he was the fun one, the wild one, the one who definitely was not thinking about compound interest or asset allocation or long-term income diversification. And maybe that was the smartest thing he ever did, because while everyone was watching the backflips, nobody was watching the balance sheet. He partied like he was broke. He saved like he was a billionaire. And when the music finally stopped, he was the only one in the room still standing on the solid ground. If this broke down the Gronk story in a way you didn't expect, drop a comment below. What part of his financial blueprint hits different for you? Is it the decision to never touch his salary, the event business play, or the way he turned a party image into a brand worth millions? Let us know. Hit the like button if this changes how you see him. Subscribe to our channel, because this is where we get into the real architecture behind the biggest wealth stories in sports and business. We will see you in the next one.